going on YouTube? Cozy Jones here, back again with another video. And I know, I've been away for a while, but here I am. In the case of the LA rapper Nipsey Hussle. As most of you know, this guy passed away recently. I don't even think it's been a week. I knew who he was when he came out, like roughly about 10 years ago. Not ever have I been into his music at all. This guy passed so tragically, the way it went down. And for me personally, it was sad because he has a kid, he has children. It's hard for me to not act like that's not important, because you look at black people now, the lack of fathers, the lack, fatherhood in our communities. It's a big deal to this day. You know what I'm saying? If you look at the black, I know for a fact that there is no other race of people in the world or in America where the matriarchy is leading the community. In the Latino community, in the white community, nothing like that. It's only in the black community where women run the community. And then we have the problems that we have. Now, you can say, are you trying to blame black women? I didn't say all that. It's just, I don't have to say all that. You just put two and two together and you can see where I'm coming from. Now, Nipsey Hussle. This guy was an active member of the Rolling 60s Crip gang. Now, when I say that, you start to think to yourself, it's a red flag and stuff like that, And I do feel that way. But then you're told about all the positive he's done in the community. And then I'm kind of torn, in a sense, because this guy has allegedly done all these good things, but then he's an active gangbanger. So it's like, in a sense, it kind of cancels everything out, because this is how I look at it. At one point in time, he was dealing drugs to his own people within that same community. He says that, or everyone is claiming that he helped. He sold drugs to those people in that community. So essentially, he's a part of the problem. Him being affiliated with gangbangers, Crip gang members, is a part of the problem. Because in his music, that I didn't really get into, I didn't really like it like that, you know what I'm saying? But I did listen. He glorified it. But in his music, he's not glorifying the good he's doing. But you notice when young black kids die, the same thing that happened with Mike Brown in Ferguson, Missouri. What did his parents, what did his people say about him? Oh, he was a good kid. He was a gentle giant. He didn't do no wrong. He was going to school. All the typical good things you would normally hear. And then video surveillance comes out and shows that this guy is robbing stores, stealing, disobeying cops. Now, did he deserve to be killed? Of course not. I wouldn't wish death upon anybody. Did Nipsey deserve to be killed? No. But your actions will always catch up to you. When you put yourself in harm's way, it will catch up to you. Nobody's immune. Now, I also call wind that Nipsey, that essentially certain gangs, rival gangs, and also fellow Crip gang members, because the Crips are they're dispersed everywhere. There's like different pockets of gangs of Crips. It's stupid. Same with Bloods, but it's stupid. But all these gangs, apparently, to my knowledge, what I'm being told is that they all made a pact to not harm Nipsey. So essentially, he wasn't he wasn't scot-free, or he was essentially a target to some degree, as he was eventually. He was killed, not by the white man. He wasn't killed by nobody but a fellow Crip, who he seemed to know growing up. He knew this guy. I will never, ever accept anything from anybody who's living that kind of life. And what I mean by that is this. I'm not saying the guy was an evil person. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying to you is his affiliation with Crip members, Crip gang members, to me, that erases all he's done. Because if you're doing good for your community, as everyone swears by, his platform, he should be denouncing gang culture. That's what he should be doing. You know what I'm saying? His last album, he was Grammy-nominated artist, rap artist. A lot of people swear by his last album, Victory Lap. I haven't listened to it in its entirety. I don't think I will. I'm not going to do that because he's dead now. But everybody swears by this guy, and he should be denouncing gang culture. Because as much as black people, as we like to blame the white man for our misfortune, if you will, it's really not. I mean, we could talk about slavery, but people act like the majority of white people or every white person had a slave. No. It was the wealthy ones, for the most part, that had slaves. About 15% of white people back in those days owned slaves. Not the majority of white people. But we as black people, we don't understand that. We think it's just everybody's white. The Jim Crow, you know what I'm saying? Black families were doing very well during the Jim Crow. So then you would ask yourself, what's up now? Why are we struggling now? We had Black Wall Street during Jim Crow. Now Jim Crow's been lifted. What is our excuse now? We don't have any. We just sit up here and whine and we wait for the next social tragedy to happen for us to just start protesting and shit. We got to do better as a people, man. As far as Nipsey's concerned, I don't care how much he's done. As long as he was affiliated with Crips or Bloods or whatever, he's a part of the problem. Bar none. It's that simple. He's a part of the problem. You can be mad at me all you want to. Doesn't change the fact of what I'm saying. I'm not lying here. Nothing I'm saying is false. And then we move on to him being killed in The Game. The rapper The Game, I'm sure some of you guys know. So essentially, this rapper, Kodak Black from Florida, he said something to the effect of, man, I'm willing to give Lauren London at least a year to grieve, dude, referring to Nipsey. Basically, he's shooting a shot at her. And everybody has gone crazy as if what he said was just completely disrespectful. And it wasn't. Was the timing appropriate? No, it wasn't. But was it disrespectful? No. To the point where all these Crip and gang members are now threatening Kodak's life to do harm or even worse. No, it's not worth all of that. We all act as if this man who just recently got murdered in cold blood by a fellow Crip member didn't just kill this man, and they're both gang members, so it is gang activity. We act like Nipsey didn't just get killed by a fellow Crip, and then you have other Crip and Blood gang members threatening Kodak. It's the black community for you guys, man. The cycle continues. I don't know how many of you played the video game Red Dead Redemption 2. The main protagonist in the game has stated this, and he said, and I quote, "Revenge is a fool's game. You get nowhere." And it makes all the sense in the world. For those of you who played the game, you understand where I'm coming from. It's stupid. Meanwhile, the game is the same man who said that he had sexual relations, and I'm just going to keep it very PG here on my channel, but he said way worse than what I said. He said that he had sexual relations with Kim Kardashian. Now, whether that's true or not, that remains to be seen. But the fact that this woman is married to someone you consider a friend is out of line. Now that is disrespectful. You want to know why? In Nipsey's case, the man is no longer living. So you can't disrespect the dead. You just can't. Kanye is still living. He has to live with the fact that you said what you said about his wife. That's messed up, man. And Game has a habit about it. He did the exact same thing when he had a beef with Meek Mill. And at the time, Meek Mill was dating Nicki Minaj. He made references of having relations with Nicki Minaj. But when he did it, it was okay. Kodak Black, he made no references to Lauren London in a sexual manner. He didn't say that her kids are his kids now. He didn't call her stupid or a hoe or nothing like that crazy. He didn't. If you ask me, he was being courteous. He even said that he's willing to wait a year for her to grieve. Most guys would just go smack at her. Probably in her DMs right now on Instagram or on Twitter. Probably a few hours after they found out Nipsey was dead, they're probably in her DMs. But what Kodak said was disrespectful? Really? Listen, man, we live in a time where words no longer matter. We say anything is disrespectful, and nothing about it, what he said was disrespectful. His timing was wrong. Absolutely. He was off by doing that. But it wasn't disrespectful. No, man. And the one thing I like about Kodak, say what you want, about his legal issues and the things that he's facing right now, that's a whole separate thing. What I like about him personally is that he doesn't answer to nobody. He only answers to the beat of his own drum. Even T.I., y'all know T.I., man. I despise that guy, man. Even T.I., of all people, is trying to be the voice of reason. This man been cheating on his wife for how long? And it's one thing to cheat on your girl, your wife. This is wife, not his girlfriend's wife. And then when she goes and fools around with Floyd, whether she cheated on him with Floyd, I don't know. But there's no evidence of that. But when she goes, he acting like he don't know why she's doing it. That's crazy. That's crazy. But T.I., he always has to include himself in something. Always. He's a busybody, man. That's exactly what he is. I don't like T.I. because I know he doesn't mean well. This guy, this man is actually in the streets trying to check people about wearing Gucci. Really? Yeah, he admitted that he spends at the time, or he was spending 1.2 or 3 million annually on Gucci. But let's not get off topic. Let's fuck T.I. These gangs, rival gangs in LA, they all decided to come together in honor of Nipsey Hussle and I guess March for Peace or Unity or whatever the hell they're doing, protesting, whatever. And quite frankly, I know it's a publicity stunt. I recall the gang, who was a Blood, and Snoop Dogg, who was a Crip. They did this years ago. And what came of it? Nothing. Not a goddamn thing. Nothing. And these same black people will sit here and tell you that they're being oppressed in their communities by white people, right? It wasn't a white person that killed Nipsey Hussle. As much as we, and I hate saying we because I'm black, but I just don't think like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, as much as we would want it to be a white person that killed this man, it wasn't. And to be quite frank, I think the upset and the outrage is more so because the person that killed him wasn't a white person. But what white person would? Like, what would be the incentive? That's the point. There is none. Talking about government conspiracy. Man, are you for real? Come on, man. The truth of the matter is, these gangs are the destruction. They partake in the destruction of these communities, or lack thereof. They should be held responsible. Because these gang members, they won't go attack the police. They're not going to do that. They're not going to roll up, these Bloods and Crips, they're not going to roll up on the White House. They're not going to roll up on the Pentagon. They're not going to roll up on Latin Kings or MS-13. Even though MS-13 is the one killing them the most. They'd rather kill themselves. And Nipsey, the bitter truth is, I know it's a hard pill to swallow, He was a part of that. Just because somebody dies does not absolve them of their past actions. I'm sorry, man. Did he do well in his community? I'm sure he did. But the fact that he was a gang member, he was affiliated, he promoted it in his music, he's a part of that problem that he tried to save, essentially. Isn't that self-serving? I mean, come on. This guy was on a song with, he was featured on the song with that other moron, blood rapper, YG, with a song titled, Fuck Donald Trump. Now, to YG, you tell me, sir, is Donald Trump the problem? Was Donald Trump the one that is hurting black people? Is Donald Trump the person that killed Nipsey Hussle? Is Donald Trump really the problem? Is he? So, I mean, that's my opinion, guys. It's unfortunate the way he went out. You know, this guy has a daughter. I can somehow relate to that. He has kids. You know, and then you hear all these things. He did this, and this, and this, and he said, damn. And then come to find out, I just found out a few days ago that he was Eritrean. It all makes sense. Until we as black people can denounce gang culture in our own communities, it'll never get better. So you can cry and whine about gentrification all you want to. Like that's the biggest deal, the biggest problem in our communities. Continue. Feel free. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, comment, give me your opinions, your thoughts. Please keep it respectful. If not, I will gladly block you. This is Cozy Jones, and I am out.